CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Brendan Purdy.
One of the biggest issues is that there's not enough people to be able to serve those who are in need.
Tonight on CTV News, acute care adjustments, what changes are in store for some Alberta hospitals. Good evening and thanks for joining us today. Premier Danielle Smith announced a new acute care plan. It aims to add more than 1,000 hospital beds while delivering 50,000 additional surgeries in an attempt to ease the burden on Alberta's healthcare system. Those 50,000 additional surgeries are to be rolled out over the next 3 years. Smith says that will be made possible by expanding hospital operating room capacity and partnering with chartered surgical facilities. The additional beds are planned for the Grey Nuns and Misericordia hospitals here in Edmonton and Calgary's South Health campus. As for staffing, at a time when many healthcare workers are bargaining and in some cases on the brink of a strike, Hospital and Surgical Health Minister Matt Jones had this to say.
We have successfully recruited or onboarded 1,000 RNs, LPNs, and healthcare aides over the last year. We've successfully recruited over 600 net new physicians over the last year. And Alberta continues to be one of the best places in the world to live, work, and raise a family. And that includes in our world-class institutions like our healthcare system.
The province's hospital and surgical health facilities critic says the plan doesn't include timelines or staffing details. She says it also does little to address burnout among frontline workers.
Many healthcare workers have great ideas on what to do, and it usually starts with hiring more healthcare workers because one of the biggest issues is that there's not enough people to be able to serve those who are in need.
The province says close to 1,300 physicians are registered to practice across the province, which is 643 more than last year. We've asked how many of those physicians are currently practicing and are waiting for a response. Other areas of the plan include enhancing triage and speeding up the patient flow at the Royal Alexandra Hospital and increasing community care spaces, including 12 new psychiatric beds while shifting to 30 temporary beds to become permanent. 2 more Albertans have died from the flu, 1 person in their 40s and 1 in their 80s. That brings the total number of deaths from influenza this season to 3. The province is also reporting 6 deaths from COVID in the first week of this month. Vaccination rates for COVID-19 are behind last season's pace. In the first 3 weeks of the provincial vaccination campaign, about 223,000 COVID shots were administered. In the same time period last year, more than 442,000 Albertans received their shots. The Premier had this to say about the respiratory virus so far.
I think we have more patients hospitalized because of influenza than we do COVID. So it's as we get into the respiratory virus season, we always end up with this kind of impact. And so we're hopeful people will take the precautionary measures.
97,000 flu vaccine shots were given province-wide in the last week and 36,000 COVID shots. The Alberta Federation of Labour is apologizing for not calling a general strike after teachers were ordered back to work last month. Now it's focusing efforts on a media campaign and 3 questions it hopes will become referendum questions. As CTV's Connor Hogg reports, the Premier is accusing the Federation of playing politics.
As President of the Federation of Labour, I'll take responsibility. We missed the opportunity.
AFL President Gil McGowan is apologizing for not calling a general strike 3 weeks ago when the province ended the teachers' strike by invoking the notwithstanding clause. Instead of striking, the association is launching a campaign to combat what it deems provincial overreach, called the Worker Agenda.
We want to contrast our worker agenda to the UCP agenda.
The multi-pronged media campaign will include traveling town halls, a podcast, and volunteers gathering signatures for 3 citizen initiative questions. The questions target the province's use of the notwithstanding clause, the establishment of an Alberta pension plan, and minimum wage in the province.
Premier Smith has made it pretty clear that she intends to put referendum questions on the ballot for some of her MAGA North pet projects. We're going to counter that effort by working to get some referendum questions on of our own on the ballot.
McGowan alleges the UCP government is deliberately underfunding Elections Alberta to interfere with citizen-driven recall petitions that the AFL is not part of but supports.
If they continue to defund Elections Alberta, the emperor will have no clothes.
Well, I think Gil McGowan's made it clear he's trying to overthrow our government. What we're seeing is that somebody is playing around with, I think, what is a legitimate process and making a mockery of it, quite frankly.
Mount Royal University Associate Professor of Policy Studies Laurie Williams says many Albertans are taking advantage of provincial petition and recall legislation. While she warns there could be a point where citizen initiative fatigue sets in, she says aspects of the worker agenda campaign and corresponding questions could generate more momentum than a general strike.
If properly or effectively organized, that momentum could spell a real challenge to the Alberta government.
McGowan says general strike conversations are ongoing. The first worker agenda town hall will take place in Red Deer on Monday. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Leduc RCMP investigating child pornography and sexual assault offenses against children have charged 4 people. In August, RCMP arrested Maxence Valade and charged him with production of child pornography and 7 counts of sexual offenses against children. Investigators searched his home in Leduc and seized several items. They say they found information inside leading them to additional victims and suspects. In October, police arrested 2 women in Edmonton and charged them with child pornography-related offenses. 34-year-old Sydney Burns and 24-year-old Fannie Mae Salvador. Another woman in Edmonton was arrested last week. 29-year-old Jessica Lee Wood is charged with sexual interference. A West End apartment building gutted by fire has been torn down. The building is now rubble and the area taped off. Flames broke out just after 5 on Wednesday night. No injuries were reported. 22 tenants are displaced, along with roughly a dozen pets. Edmonton Fire is still investigating the cause. Charges have been stayed against the president of an Edmonton property development company that owes seniors millions of dollars from life lease contracts. Greg Christensen of the Christensen Group of Companies was facing 6 charges of failing to return a life lease entrance fee within 180 days. The Crown Prosecution Service says it reviewed the evidence and determined there was no likelihood of conviction, so it wasn't in the public interest to proceed. The charges were stayed last month. A life lease is when someone pays a large sum up front plus operating costs to live in a unit for the rest of their life. If they die or have to move out, the majority of their initial investment is to be returned. The Alberta Life Lease Protection Society says there's still $88 million outstanding to those who terminated their life leases up to October 17th. A water quality advisory for the Sturgeon River has been lifted. Alberta Health Services says it's now safe to use the river for recreation. The advisory was issued back in April after a wastewater pipeline leak dumped sewage into the water. AHS says recent water tests show the impact of the leak has dissipated. The advisory was originally issued for the Rivercrest area near Benoit Bridge and for a section of the river northeast of the Ray Gibbon Drive Bridge near St. Albert. Healthcare workers are working to limit the number of tuberculosis cases among Edmonton's homeless population. Back in October, Primary Care Alberta declared a tuberculosis outbreak in Edmonton's inner city. Edmonton's lead medical health officer says every case of tuberculosis is traced and investigated.
On an annual basis, we might see 3 to 4 cases of tuberculosis within our inner city population overall. Year to date, we've seen 11 or 12 cases, which is a number higher than what we normally see.
Chris Sikora says if you have a cough lingering for more than 2 weeks, you should see a doctor. A portion of Jasper Avenue has reopened to traffic. In the spring, the roadway was reduced to 1 lane in each direction from 114th to 117th Street, so workers could make improvements to Jasper Ave. The project includes upgraded sidewalks, pedestrian crossings, and transit access points. Relocating a water main along Jasper Avenue is also part of this ongoing work. The city says there will be temporary single-lane closures during off-peak hours as they install streetlights. The next phase of the project will focus on Jasper Avenue between 117th and 121st Street. That work begins next spring. Population growth in Edmonton and Calgary was one of the hot-button issues at this year's Alberta Municipalities Convention. More than 1,200 local leaders were in Calgary this week discussing the future of the province. The three-day event gave municipal leaders a chance to meet with provincial officials and debate issues affecting their communities. Edmonton City Councillor Michael Jans says population growth was a major talking point throughout the conference. Jans adds the province isn't doing enough to support booming population growth in Alberta's two largest cities.
We need the provincial government who really has the purse, who really has the ability to provide, to come to the table. You can't launch a campaign like Alberta is calling and bring hundreds of thousands of people to the province without adequate support for them. So that was a common theme I heard.
Jan says the convention was also a great chance for Edmonton's new council to meet Calgary's new council. He adds that he looks forward to bolstering those relationships over the next 4 years. Former city councillor and mayoral candidate Tim Cartmell is leaving the municipal party that he helped create. Cartmell says after weeks of quiet contemplation, he's stepping back from the Better Edmonton party. He says that he's proud of their efforts to build a new political association. He calls the group extremely capable people who are determined to continue the conversation and engage with Edmontonians building towards the next election. He's also reflected on his 8 years on council, calling it the privilege of a lifetime, and said, on the whole, we did pretty good work. He didn't specify what's next for his career. Enbridge has approved an investment that will see more Canadian heavy oil sent to the U.S. The Canadian pipeline will spend $1.4 billion U.S. to increase the capacity of oil it sends south. It'll allow Enbridge to send another 150,000 barrels of oil a day through the mainline network. That line runs from Edmonton to eastern Canada and to the U.S. Midwest. It also add 100,000 barrels a day to the Flanagan South pipeline, which runs to the U.S. Gulf Coast. The added capacity is expected to come online in 2027. After 30 years in business, the owners of King Noodle House in Chinatown have put it up for sale. Also for sale, their famous and very secret soup recipe. CTV's Nair Manisa has more.
Tan Hong has served thousands of bowls of pho over the past 30 years at his King Noodle House restaurant. The secret to his success is a specialty soup.
I dream a plan for open the restaurant, doing for the pho from my recipe from my family, from my grandfather.
A family recipe spanning 3 generations, imported from Vietnam. He says the broth is behind the business's longevity and lots of laughs with customers.
After they empty the bowl of the soup, they leave the bowl, they ring up empty the broth, and they show me 10. Oh, good, 10. Oh, thank you, very good. You smart guy. Yeah.
Now the family is stepping aside for someone else to make new memories.
With multi-generational family businesses, basically, you always have this conversation, are the children going to take over? And for us, the timing's just not right for us, but we also want our parents to rest.
King Noodle House is up for sale, along with the famous pho recipe that no one outside the family knows how to make.
People can get the recipe, get the training from my mom in our kitchen, and then open up their own space somewhere that they would like.
Hong didn't have much besides the recipe when he and his family fled Vietnam in the 80s in a boat he and his brother built, an image immortalized behind the till. Now, as he moves on to the next chapter, he's leaving the recipe behind.
We have to quit because, with the people, when you leave, you get old. After you feel everything, you can't do that anymore.
The Hongs hope this recipe falls into the right hands and can be passed down from one generation to another by a new family. Nair Misa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Just ahead, puddle or pothole? Usually a spring question leaves a Montreal woman injured. Plus, charitable for Christmas. Demand for support is up ahead of the holiday season.
It is a bit of a struggle every year for us to really try to meet that demand. Good evening, folks. 2 degrees for a daytime high as temperatures settle back in closer to average today. And it looks like we'll stay around or just slightly above average through the next 5 to 7 days. No snow in the forecast either through this weekend. Closer look at that and your 5 to 10 day forecast in a couple minutes.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Well, it might be the tail end of construction season in cities across our country. There's still plenty of road work that's going on. One Montreal woman found out the hard way that when construction combines with wet weather, things aren't always what they seem. CTV's Christine Long explains.
Last week at 8 in the morning, Darlene Demchuk was riding her bike to work along this shared lane on Timmins Boulevard in Saint Laurent.
Riding my bike as normal, but through multiple puddles. And there's been a lot of construction on Timmins, but I wasn't aware that I was driving into a puddle that was actually more like a pool.
An uncovered worksite was full of water in the shared bike bus lane. 3 upright pylons block the lane, but going around them would have meant cycling in traffic. So Demchuk went straight, right into a large hole.
The fact that I could just ride my bike into that hole tells me that it wasn't properly secured.
The impact broke her nose and resulted in other injuries. Immediate facial reconstruction surgery was required. Soon after, Demchuk recorded a video as she measured the depth of the pit with a 10-foot pole showing the danger of leaving it uncovered.
That's how deep it is.
Saint Laurent Borough Mayor Alan D'Souza says his team secured the site as soon as they heard about the accident.
Our staff immediately went down, put up a barrier, put up a yellow tape, and as well put a covering to cover the hole.
He adds that even though orange cones may be frequent, they're there for a reason.
The cones represent a signal to motorists, to cyclists, to pedestrians that that's an area that's not to be traversed.
Demchuk says a hazard that big should have had a better warning system.
You know, I want to take some fault because I could have totally said, well, maybe they're con orange, maybe I should stop.
She says if not for her helmet, her injuries would have been much worse. And she says she's speaking out in hopes that this never happens to anyone else. Christine Long, CTV News.
Local charities are gearing up for what could be one of their busiest seasons yet. Rising costs are straining household budgets, leaving more families in need of assistance this holiday season. CTV's Sasha Petramala has more.
The demand that exists in the community is a bit of a struggle every year for us to really try to meet that demand.
The demand for support is up, but some local charities are concerned that donations could be down.
So we have received quite a few donations, but we definitely need a lot more in order to meet our fundraising goal this year.
BGC Big Brothers Big Sisters says it faces challenges year after year to meet the needs of Edmontonians during its annual holiday drive. The organization asks for toys to give to clients through Toy Mountain.
Has been increasing for sure over the last year, same as everybody across the city with cost of living going up.
The Christmas Bureau and the Bissell Center are also at the beginning of the holiday crunch. Both charities say people have already been reaching out for help.
And the interest and the need in the community is significant. We've received thousands and thousands of applications so far.
We're seeing everybody really struggling with their budgets and financially.
All nonprofit organizations say they recognize a high cost of living will also affect potential donors. They're asking people to donate in any way they can.
We rely so much on the community, and if you can make a gift that is meaningful to you, whatever that means, it's going to make such a huge impact in the lives of so many people in our community.
If you want to help, the Christmas Bureau makes festive meals through food hamper donations and gift cards. The Bissell Center and BGC Bigs aims to put gifts under the Christmas tree.
So we serve kids from 16 through to 18 plus. So toys for little guys and especially toys for the older kids.
And volunteers are always welcome.
You can collect gifts and bring them, or you can help with wrapping.
If you want to get together with your family, hop in your car, put on your Christmas music and go and deliver hampers, you can really help make the holidays happen for our friends and neighbors in need.
Local charities say head to their websites to find out how you can help. Sasha Petramala, CTV News, Edmonton.
After the break, getting bullish at Rogers Place. The PBR Canadian Finals take over the Alberta capital.
I've been in them all in North America. I've seen every venue just about, and this is a world-class stadium.
Monday on your morning, how shy is too shy, and when is a tantrum something more? We have advice for parents on how to tell the difference between extreme behavior and regular development.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
Welcome back. 2 degrees this afternoon, right around average for this time of year. We were still a handful of degrees above average for the morning low, but it will be a lot closer to that -7, -8 range early tomorrow morning here in the city. That despite the fact that we've got mostly cloudy skies to start the day. Get some clearing in the afternoon. Chance of some light flurries here in northern Alberta late Saturday, so that'll miss the city. And this next wave for Sunday stays well north of us as well. Mixed sun and cloud here in the Edmonton region. A little sunnier further to the south of Red Deer, but you've got some snow in through northwestern Alberta, and then by Monday, it makes its way across northern and northwestern parts of the province. Late Monday night or early Tuesday, we might see a few of those flurries slide through. There's also a system that'll come through southern Alberta on Tuesday that we're kind of on the edge of. At this point, it doesn't look like any heavy snow, but maybe a few more flurries middle of next week. -11 in Fort McMurray, Slave Lake, Cold Lake tomorrow morning. -12 in Grand Prairie. -7, -8 range for Edmonton and Red Deer. Daytime highs should be about 3 or 4 degrees above zero in Grand Prairie, but a handful of degrees below zero in Fort McMurray, 0 in Cold Lake, maybe just slightly below 0 in Lloydminster, and then 4s and 5s for areas from Red Deer west towards the mountain parks. Here in Edmonton, about 3 degrees for a daytime high tomorrow. Clouds to start, sunshine in the afternoon, and light wind through the day. Maybe some chilly mornings, though, in the -5, -7 range. Back up to about 5 degrees on Sunday, and then 3 Monday, 0 with that chance of flurries or light snow on Tuesday. And temperatures kind of stay in that -1 to 3 degree range right through the middle to the end of next week. So no big cool spell coming, although it does look like somewhere around the 24th or 25th of November, we'll start to see some colder air drop in. That is your forecast.
A store inside Southgate Mall is aiming to collect 20,000 diapers over the next few months. The Fourth is launching its 3rd annual 20K diaper drive. It'll be collecting diapers and money for Edmonton's food bank until January the 31st.
So the whole point is really to help families in need. And I know it's really tough for families right now, especially when the cost of raising a child is going up. And so whatever I can do to help our community and give back, that's the reason I'm doing it.
Last year, the drive brought in more than 23,000 diapers. Donations can be made directly at the Fourth or online at edmontonsfoodbank.ca. With the Oilers off on an Eastern Conference road swing, the ice at Rogers Place has been replaced with pens and dirt. This weekend, the top bull riders in the world will battle it out for the PBR Canadian Championship.
I've been in them all in North America. I've seen every venue just about, and this is a world-class stadium.
For more than 20 years, PBR Canada GM Jason Davidson has been getting fans out of their seat on the pro bull riding circuit. From humble beginnings, he's helped the sport grow to the biggest stages like this weekend's national finals at Rogers Place.
From O Canada till we shut the lights down at the end of the performance, you're entertained.
And the numbers speak for themselves. Davidson says the crowds have doubled over the 5-year Canadian Finals run in Edmonton. His explanation is simple.
It's hundreds of people that have been here for their first time, and we know they're going to come back.
A partnership made easy between the city and PBR Canada with an expected economic impact north of $6 million over the 2-day event. Even with a record $250,000 purse, this weekend means more than dollars and cents to Alberta bull rider Nick Tetz. He broke his femur back in March, and Saturday will mark his 5th event since recovering.
The mental warfare that you play with yourself on, if you'll return and, be as good as you were, or, everything like that, just knowing that everything that you did paid off.
The Calgary native has enjoyed some memorable rides in Edmonton, claiming the Canadian Championship last year at Rogers Place. The venue is even more special given his lifelong Oilers fandom, one born from being cousins with Oilers legend Ryan Smith.
It's super cool, you know, to get to walk down the, you know, the same hallway that McDavid walks out to, you know, going out to the ice. Definitely something that I think adds a little bit of a motivating factor.
Although he's out of the running to defend his national championship, he can still claim back-to-back finals event wins, a feat only accomplished once before. Oh my goodness, always a time taking in any PBR Canada event. Should be a great one downtown. All right, that's all from us this week. Thank you so much for wrapping up your Friday with us on CTV Edmonton. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday night. Same time, same place. Until then, take care and goodbye for now.